Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the podcast playground. And please give us that 5-star review, subscribe, Apple, Spotify, wherever you are listening to this podcast. Of course, we ask you to do it wherever you get your favorite podcast, and we are your favorite podcast. If not, we know where you live. Just remember that.
If not, we should be. Doggone it, we should be. Look at all the work we put in for you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Also, follow us on Facebook, BJ and Bill, the podcast, and welcome to episode 100. We are now in triple digit, people.
Unfreaking believable. Unbelievable. 100 episodes. That's more than 2 years. I mean,
I know.
52
well,
weeks a year. Come on.
Yeah. Because yeah.
Oh, well, you're right. Because I think we did a bunch of them to start, but still, it's got to be 2 years. I mean, do you remember that? Because you're better at keeping those records than me. But
I think we actually started the end of August.
Wow. Okay.
You know, I think our first one went up like August, whatever the Wednesday is. I think it was like I think it was like the last day of the month of August, I think. But don't quote me because we've done 100 episodes and I'm almost 100 years old. So don't quote me on anything.
100 years old. I don't know about that. You got a little bit of time to go before that. We both do, thankfully. But I am planning on seeing my 100th birthday. So I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to try. We're gonna give it a shot. So there you go. So episode 100. Congratulations to you, my friend, for putting in the work and showing up every week. And good job.
Yeah, thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
How you feeling? Healthy this morning?
Healthy. I'm okay. I'm just I just working on my morning coffee here. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good.
I should have made my morning tea. I didn't. I'm having a Premier protein drink today.
I've read the ingredients on those, and I'm a little sketchy on that. So I mean, it's probably good for you, but I don't know.
Got a lot of vitamins and stuff.
Yeah, I get that, but
protein, not a lot of
coffee
calories.
And take a multivitamin.
Well, I do that. Well, I take and I don't know what's in it. I take a B complex.
A B complex. Well, it must be complex then.
Who knows? It is. It's complex. It's got a lot of different vitamins in it. It's a B complex.
Okay. Well,
that's
good
my
to
vitamin
know.
That's my vitamin of the morning. I usually drink green tea.
I know. I've seen that. Okay. Well, I'm drinking my coffee, and I've got this new. And we've talked about it, that magnesium potassium supplement and they're not sponsoring this show, so I won't say their name, but it's a very popular brand. And if you'd like to sponsor the show, you could. And I normally have one at night because it's a chocolatey, tasty thing with magnesium and potassium, helps you sleep, helps you, muscles and all that. But I'm also now getting in the habit of having one in my coffee in the morning, and tastes good. And I think it helps. So I'm up to 2 a day, man. I'm on a 2 a day habit here.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
Yeah. I know, right? No, there you go. We were just talking before the show as well. I am desperately in need of a haircut, so I think that's going to be today as well. So
I don't know. I could probably use one, but I'm not completely there yet.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Man. It's all good.
I've been pulling my hair out the last 2 weeks.
Ah, you don't have that much to pull out. What's the problem?
Well, we mentioned this a few podcasts ago where I was thinking about possibly looking at a new car. Didn't know if I wanted to do electric or what they call, the electric
hybrid or whatever. Yeah. Right. So, plug-in electric hybrid. Right.
Been doing a lot of research. Actually drove an electric car.
Which one?
The one that you're
the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the little square one.
Oh, that thing is so cool.
Isn't it though? Isn't it? For people like us who have been driving gas-powered cars all our lives, and we're talking, a long, long time, it's so different in a cool way that it's like, oh, this is so nice. So nice. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting your story. Tell us more. Tell us about your test drive.
So we go do the test drive. I don't really punch it, but I punch it a little bit. And I'm like, because you go back, you punch that thing and all, and you go back in the seat.
Yes, you do.
My little Yaris never did that. Let me tell you right now.
No, Yaris. It's got squirrels inside running hard. No, it goes good. Yeah.
And then the only thing I didn't like, but you can turn it off, and I don't know, because I know that your lady friend what do I call her? Your lady friend?
Yeah, just a lady friend. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a lady friend.
Yeah. Venice.
And I don't know if hers did this or not, but you can turn it off. And I had him turn it off. On the windshield, when you're looking forward.
Yes.
On the actual windshield, it's like a reflection.
Yes.
You see how fast you're going, what the speed limit is, and how much battery you have left. That's so you don't have to really take your eyes off the road.
That's called a heads-up display.
And that heads-up display drove my heads wacky.
Stolen from fighter jets. So fighter jet pilots can be looking through the window the whole time and see the information right in front of them. And my friend's car, to finish that thought, is like a year old at this point, doesn't have that. So I've seen it, yes, and I think it would be distracting as heck too. I think it would just distract the heck out of me. I'm used to looking down at a speedometer and all that stuff.
And then another new gizmo it had, which I've never had a car that had one of these before.
Which
it had the rear view mirror. It had like a camera.
Oh, yes. So the rear view mirror is not a mirror. It's a little itty bitty TV display.
Yes.
Yes.
That also affected me. But he goes, oh, you can like flip it to normal. So I flipped it to normal. So everything that really distracted me, there was a switch you could switch to make it like an old person's car that you're used to.
Imagine how distracting, imagine how unfun that must be for people, and I'm not mentioning any particular gender here, notice, how for people who do their makeup in the rearview mirror and would turn that mirror to do their makeup, and it's not a mirror, it's a camera looking out the back of the car. It's like, hey, wait a minute, I'm a vampire, I can't see my reflection.
But I will tell you.
So anyway, you turned it off. Yeah.
It was so much fun to drive. It's like
a go-kart.
I hate to say it's like when you go out with a new girl, like my wife, because I fell in love with her immediately. And I knew that I couldn't live. I thought I couldn't live without her. Well, that's the same thing now with this stupid electric car. I'm going, oh, this thing is so cool. I can't live without it. I love it. I just want to take it home. But then they told me how much money they wanted plus my car. And I said, I don't think I really want to take it home.
They're not cheap. They are not.
Did you hear my wife in the background?
No.
And you get bored with it.
We missed that.
Give it back.
Okay, no comment about relationships there. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm bored with you and I want to give you back, dear. That's all I can say.
Trade her in for a newer model. But again,
I want the new electric wife that goes right when all you gotta do is
wait, I'm gonna tell you right now, stop right there. I'm gonna tell you right now, just like the car, you can't afford it. So make the current model work.
That's what I think. That's what I think I'm probably going to have to do. But, the wife is
I'm talking about with the wife.
Oh, but the wife is still, the wife is still leaning towards wanting one of the RAV4 plug-in hybrids.
Those are very cool.
But they're almost impossible to find.
Oh, really? Because they're so popular?
Yeah, they're so popular.
Yeah.
We've called like every dealership within a 60-mile radius.
Wow.
And, I'm talking, we've called Tampa, we've called
Right.
Orlando, we've called our local area, we even called Fort Myers.
Wow.
Everybody says probably it'll take at least 3 months to get you one in. If you want to come in and order one and make a deposit. But, I'd kind of like to get behind the wheel of one of those to see what it feels like. I mean, right now we have a RAV4.
Right.
But we don't have a, plug-in hybrid RAV4.
I wouldn't buy anything without, not a car. I wouldn't buy anything without driving it first. Not a chance.
That's kind of what my wife
That's just me.
says.
And I'm old school. I mean, that's probably old school, and I'm okay with that. I remember not this Hyundai, not the electric one that my lady friend has in Venice, because that was a fluke. That was a total fluke. They had one at the Hyundai dealer in Venice where she lived, and she was looking at another car because she was wanting to trade in the Hyundai and she's had Hyundais all along. She's a Hyundai person. So she was looking to trade in the one she had, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, we have this. Some guy wants to buy it, but he's got to go home and talk to his wife, and we don't allow that. You either buy it or you don't." So you can't say, "Hold it for me." We don't do that. So we have this one Hyundai Ioniq 5, and she drove it and bought it on the spot. So somewhere there's an angry old man in Venice. Well, there's a lot of angry old men in Venice, but over this particular thing.
Now,
but I remember when my friend, just to finish your looking around thing, when my friend was looking for her previous Hyundai, we called all over, and we ended up driving from Venice to DeLand, which is other side of Orlando, to get the one, because they had the one she wanted. And we drove there and made the trade-in, made the deal, drove it home. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's so I don't know what we're gonna do for sure. Now listen to this. Now when we did go look at the Hyundai, the Onyx or whatever, the 5 or whatever
Ioniq.
they're called. Yeah, the Ioniq.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah.
It was just cool. I don't remember. It's got a fancy name.
It is cool.
But they did have other cars. I mean, you had choices as far as a few colors. And so it wasn't just like, we only have one, get it now, or it's gone.
Right.
So at least we have that.
Right.
But listen to this.
But
my wife, she is a Disney fanatic.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know this or not. But the Hyundai, how do you say it again?
Ioniq.
Ion,
like ion, like ion, Ioniq.
Ioniq.
Yes.
They have for $2,000 more.
Of course.
$2,000 price tag more. They have this. It has a different paint scheme where it's like really, where you have to shine it. You don't have to it almost is like Rain-X. It's like, it's futuristic. You can just wipe it down with a towel and clean it.
Okay.
But it also, everywhere you look, including the wheels, Disney.
Really? It's a Disney edition?
It's a Disney edition.
And what does it have, like mouse ears on it or something, or what?
Well, the wheels, you can see, like a hidden Mickey in the wheels.
Really?
And of course, when you look to the side of the door, it says, Disney limited edition. It's got a Disney limited edition up here. It's got little Disneys hidden all over the thing.
I have never heard of that. Now you're going to make me go look it up. A Disney edition Hyundai Ioniq. Interesting.
Now, see, if I could come up with a bunch of money, my wife says, we can get that one. You can have it.
You're right. Right.
But even the one that doesn't say Disney is above my A grade, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean, because they're not cheap, and they're popular. So, I mean, if you watch, because I'm like a YouTube junkie, I watch all kinds of stuff on YouTube. and a lot of economic stuff, a lot of stock market and economic stuff and all of that. And I've seen videos about how much cars are not selling, that they have to discount cars and stuff because people just don't have the money anymore. I mean, it's just crazy with inflation and everything. The problem is the ones that you want, the electric ones, a lot of people still want them. And so you're not going to get a discount on the electric ones. But if it was a regular gas-powered one, you'd probably get a nice discount on it. So
well, that's like the RAV4s now. If you got like, we could get a new RAV4 like what we have, because we have a 2019 right now.
Right.
We could get like a brand new RAV4 for probably 30 grand right now.
Probably. Yeah.
Let's just say this, the electric Disney model
Right.
of the Ioniqs is like, well, more than 30,000 plus our car.
Right. Probably what the sticker on that was probably what, 55 or 60?
60. Yep. 62.
62.
For the
62.
Disney. 60. You could get one for like $59.99.99.
Right.
Without the little Disney stickers. And I'm paying 62. But man, that's
incredible.
Those things are like so cool to try. I'm sorry.
I know. But you're right about the money, because I will never forget that. Back in married days in Fort Myers, my then wife and I paid $68,000 for our first house. $68,000 for the house. And now the cars are more than, well, okay, here's a couple of old men bitching about money. So gosh, what a surprise. But yeah, this is exactly how life works. So yeah, I get it. I do.
Yeah, I think we've got our first. Well, let's just say this: we had a 2-bedroom with like what they call an office flex room,
right?
Condo,
right?
And that was in a Estero,
right?
Where now you can't touch anything in a Estero for less than $500,000. But I think we got it for like $79,000.
Right.
And that was like it was years ago, but not that many years ago.
Sure, I remember. I was at that place, right? The upstairs, the little upstairs condo. I was at that place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were, I think you were at my place, because my ex still owns the house that we paid $68,000 for. And I'm sure she has had it paid off for years and years and is living rent free. So
I wouldn't doubt if she wanted to sell it today, she could probably get $500,000 for it.
Not a half, but easily probably 300.
Oh, I mean, you haven't looked at houses in Fort Myers in a while.
I understand. This house is 60 years old. So
let's just say when we moved out of our home, that's the home where we had the clubhouse where you came to my 50th surprise birthday party.
Yep.
We sold that for 300. I think it was like 300 and was it 240 or 340? And now the thing is worth 500.
Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely sure. I mean, it's insane. Now, that is changing as well. Real estate in Florida has passed its peak. Again, I'm watching a lot of economic channels and all that. And I'm not looking to buy a house. I love my little 1-bedroom apartment, my little bachelor pad. So I'm not buying a house. But if I were buying a house, now you're starting to get interested because prices are starting to come down a little bit. So anyway, join BJ and Bill for more financial tips, because boy, we're just up on everything. Not really, but anyway.
Let's just say I have some, like all retired, well, not like all, but like any smart retired people have, a few, like, I don't know what you'd call them. You'd call them like bonds or
investments, yes.
401ks.
Sure.
I have 3. One, slap me right now.
Right.
I'm thinking of selling and letting it go just to drive that freaking car. That's how cool it was. I'm going to die soon. I'm not going to spend that money ever. It's an investment. Take it out. Buy the car. Have fun for the 2 weeks you're around.
You only live once. YOLO. You only live once. Come on. Well, I'm not a financial planner and I don't play one on TV, so I got no dog in this fight, as they say. But yeah, that's now, would you install it? Because if you buy an electric car, you got to charge it. You'd have to either install an electric outlet at your house, a 220, so you could charge it overnight. Because we talked about this a week ago. I'm pretty sure we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Yes, you can plug it into the 110 volt the 110 volt outlet in your garage, and it'll take a week to charge it up significantly.
Of course, you don't know what the dealer could be. The things I've read and the things that 2 days or a complete from 0 to 100.
On the 110?
Yeah.
Complete and total bull stuff. That is totally wrong. Totally wrong.
50 hours, which is a little over 2 days.
50 hours total. And you might get it from 0 from a low percentage because it never goes to 0, but you might get it from 5% to 80. Because a lot of times the Hyundais, they kind of fudge the numbers a little bit. They're like, oh, up to an 80 or 85% charge in 20 minutes at a regular charging station. Yeah, I get it, but I want to charge it to 100.
Now, one thing I will say, but I mean, I don't know how much that's worth, but obviously if you're thinking about saving gas, let's say I would go out and buy the Hyundai today. 2 years, of course, you got to go to certain ones.
Yes. 2 years of free charging.
Of free charging.
That's what my lady friend has that.
So that means no gas for 2 years.
No gas, no nothing for 2 years. Electric? If you have do you have a charging station nearby?
Well, the Hyundai dealer is only like 10 miles away.
Oh, and he has one?
They have one there. And of course, Costco is right next door.
Right.
Which is the same company, I guess, because there's different companies of these charging.
Yes. Yes.
And the company that you get the free stuff for is also at Costco.
I know this.
But I've been doing this since I've been, doing my little research.
Look at you.
We usually go to Costco about once a week.
Right.
I usually look and see if there's any available slots because they only have like 4, maybe 6 at the most. If not, ever see.
Really? So yes, so you could go to Costco, park your car in the charger, go inside, do your shopping, come back, you're good to go. Perfect. Yeah. No, again, my friend in Venice, my old lady friend in Venice, not that she's old, she was a previous, friend. Got the same deal, 2 years of, 0 charge. Now, she also spent the money, and it's not a lot, maybe $300 or $400. She also spent the money to put the charging station in her garage. So it runs off the 220 volts that your dryer runs on, that your clothes dryer works on. And it's just a little box that on the wall with the plug, just like anything else. And it will charge the car up again on the 220. It'll go from very, very low to 100% overnight, no problem. So she drives for free, not for free, whatever the electric costs are, because it charges overnight when the rates are lower, and it knows that. It's a smart system. So
are they lower like in Florida? That's another thing I read, but I'm thinking I didn't know electricity cost more during the day than it did at night.
Yeah. Yeah, the rates change depending on use, depending on peak usage hours. So, between probably 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. when everybody is up and taking their hot shower and using their blow dryer to go to work, it probably costs more because of the peak demand. And then at night, it's, after dinner or whatever, it's less. So yeah, that's a fact. It's not significant. I mean, but it's, hey, if you're charging up a car, that uses a lot of juice. Now, having said that, see, I'm in an apartment. I would have a hard time with that. There's one of those charging stations, like the company you're talking about. I think it's called Electrify America. I think.
That's the one. Yeah.
There's one literally down at the Target shopping center on the other side of I-75 from me. So I could do that, but I wouldn't want to be stuck at home thinking, oh, first thing in the morning, I got to get up and go charge the car. Because that's, even if you do it quickly, it's 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And God forbid that there's no slots open, that you're waiting for somebody to leave, because now it's a nightmare, So anyway, it's just still not for me. It's just not right for me just yet. If I had my own place and I could have my own charger, I might be looking at one of those little Hyundais as well, because they are super cool. Super cool.
You know what? The problem is, don't go drive. Well, you drove hers. I was going to say, don't go drive one, whatever you do, because
I know I did. When we drove hers, and I was the first to drive it with the salesman in the back and her next to me. And it was like this big empty parking lot, because the Hyundai dealer at the time didn't have any cars, big empty parking lot. And the kid leans so forward and he goes, just punch it. And I'm like, okay, bam. And like he said, it throws you back in your seats. And we all went, woo. So yeah, now, it's cool. It's super cool.
We took a test drive. I drove it.
Yep.
And the salesperson's in the back seat.
Yep.
And he asked Susan, would you like to drive it? She goes, no. And I go, oh, come on. I says, if we're really thinking about this,
right.
I says, I want you to drive it. So,
right.
Okay. So we stopped, switched places. He told her like 3 times, punch it just once. No, that wasn't punching it. No, I mean, punch it.
I mean, just
no.
Just
she goes, and when he drove, because he drove it first, he took it off the lot and took it like maybe a quarter mile. And I think he wanted to let us see what it would do in a quarter mile.
Right.
Because as soon as he got behind the wheel, flying back to the back of our seat, and we're going, my wife's going, oh my
God. I know, right? I know.
But
they're fun.
But he kept telling her to punch it. And she said, I just did. No, you didn't. Punch it. Just get a little bit more.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. I think he told her to do it 3 times, and I don't think she ever really punched it. But she goes, I'm going as fast as I need to
go. And I mean, it's not like anything, you're not going to go out and, race grandma in her minivan next to you or whatever. But the nice thing, you get used to driving that thing. And now all of a sudden you realize that it's like, okay, that little slot in traffic between those 2 cars that I would have never thought of before. It's like, I can take that. Bam, I'm in the traffic, and I'm moving at highway speeds immediately. And you're like, oh, this is nice. All right, look at that. We've been talking about cars for a half hour. I could talk about cars all day. I love that. That's fun stuff.
So who knows what we'll do?
Who knows?
This is what's scary.
Disney edition.
If the wife wouldn't have said, she goes,
I don't think we need it. Well, if you get the Disney one, I'm on board.
Well, what are you doing to me?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
She's going, yes. But she's going, but you got to spend a lot of money in order to get it.
Right.
So what do you
want to do? We don't need it, but if
boy?
you do, right, we don't need this. But if we do, buy the most expensive one.
Yeah. So do you want to spend all your money on you want to buy all the candy at once and eat it all at once? Or do you want to have candy, for the whole week?
I want it now. I want it now.
So
yeah,
I guess the car story will continue.
So what do you think? I mean, is there a chance that you actually buy this car?
Don't ask.
Don't. All right, folks. Go plug yourself back in and recharge, and we will do the same. And we will be right back. Welcome back to Car Talk with no. What a great old show that was on public radio, Car Talk. I listened to that when I was a kid. This, however, is BJ and Bill, the podcast. And I'm Bill Stevens, and that's BJ Odom. And we would really, really appreciate it if you would swing by wherever you pick up your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, you name it. We're out there. Leave us that 5-star review. We would appreciate it, especially on this, the landmark, the milestone, the whatever, 100th episode of BJ and Bill, the podcast. Amazing. 100.
What is
Who
that?
knew it would last this long?
The gold anniversary, or what is 100? I don't even know. 50.
Alexa, what is the 100th anniversary? Oh, she's not talking.
I think silver's the
Special.
50th.
Alexa, stop. She's telling me everything about it except the stone, except the gold. But I think you're right. I think gold it is. Yeah, I think gold is correct. So anyway, gold anniversary podcast for BJ and Bill. Nice.
Yeah,
My
our
nose is
golden
itchy
podcast
today. I
and
know
our
you can't
golden
see it on
news.
the podcast, but my nose is super itchy today. So, oh well.
Maybe it's all that
That
hair
means
you
something.
got.
It is. You're right. I got to go get a haircut. So let's hurry up and finish. No, I don't care. I talk all day about cars. I love that sort of thing. So what else is happening? We talked about cars. Are you watching the Olympics at all?
Oh boy, that's a controversy going on now.
Isn't it though? Isn't it? So as we record this, we're smack dab in the middle of the Olympics in Paris. And it's interesting that, yeah, it's kind of got a little bit, everything's controversial nowadays, and the Paris Olympics are right up there with the rest of it. So
And they kicked
I'm
it
not
off.
really watching.
And they didn't wait until the middle of the Olympics. They kicked it off and said, let's just start controversy.
Let's just right from the get-go, we're gonna launch this thing out of the box with a crazy, I don't know, we probably don't want to talk too much about it because it'll end up talking politics and religion and all of that sort of thing, and that's not really our jam here on this podcast. But it's been weird. The world just continues to get weirder and weirder and weirder. So
Now,
I don't know what's going on here.
See, the thing that they're saying with the Last Supper, I didn't. Let's just say I'm sitting here watching TV. Okay,
Yes.
I didn't see that at all. Personally, I didn't see that at all. But I did see.
I did.
I didn't see it, but I did see this. I go, this is freaking weird.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did like though.
What did?
Well, I don't know if I liked it, but it was interesting. Was the girls on the poles that were going, and I'm not talking pole dancers if you didn't see it, but they were on the poles and they were like, the poles were like going waving back and forth, and they're on there going, woo. And they're like dancing.
Yeah.
Like, that was weird. The whole thing was weird. I think
they got that from
weird.
Cirque du Soleil. I think that's a Cirque du Soleil thing, which is kind of French, kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of what my wife said. This thing's got the Cirque du Soleil kind of feel to it.
Yeah. So, but honestly, I didn't even watch the entire opening night. I thought it was kind of cool having the athletes come in on the boats down the river. That was cute. Cool. New trick. I get it. But other than that, I haven't watched a whole heck of a lot of it. I really haven't. So I don't know.
And it's not because I'm boycotting or not because I'm mad. It's just that I never do. And probably that opening ceremony, I watched the most controversial part, obviously, because I saw the waving of the people. I saw where the pictures jumped out and started running, and I saw what they call the Last Supper, and that's about all. And that's as far as me watching, and I'm going, okay, I'm done.
Right.
This is like, I'm not
weirder and weirder.
I didn't have any pot to smoke or anything, so none of it was making sense to me. So I'm going, I'm not high. This isn't making sense. Let's go watch something else.
That's awesome. I didn't think of that. I probably should have been stoned first.
I think that
would on a couple of those little gummies and, settled in for the night.
Yeah, then it would have maybe been interesting,
Right. Then it would have been.
But it was just weird.
Weird.
At least in my opinion. I'm only stating my opinion. It was weird.
I agree with you 100%, but then we are two old fat white guys, so I'm not sure that our opinion really counts for much anymore. So,
but I haven't watched any of the games. Now I heard somebody, and I'm probably going to make somebody mad here. Someone was upset, and I don't know if this is a racist comment or what. That's the way I took it. But someone was upset that LeBron James was holding the American flag.
I heard that.
Why?
And Well, I'm not defending or attacking LeBron James. I kind of like him. Good Cleveland boy, won my only NBA championship. Gotcha. All right. So having said that, I love LeBron James for his basketball skills. I will now say he's kind of been outspoken about some other political, racial things in his time because he has the podium that he has. I mean, when LeBron speaks, reporters will show up. So I get it. He's used that podium to talk about political and racial stuff. Some people are just going to disagree with him. So you let LeBron be the flag bearer. And now, of course, you're going to open up a whole new can of worms, a big, big can of worms. So I get it. Do I care? Not really.
Yeah. I see. That shows how in tune to the world of LeBron James I am. I'm just like, what the frick is everybody, or not everybody, but the person I saw, what the frick are you mad at? He was holding the damn flag. It's the flag of the United States of America. You should have been proud somebody was holding it, but no. I quit watching as soon as I saw LeBron James carrying the American flag. It's like, oh my God, you're a wacko.
Well, and again, and we've talked about this on this show many times, but I'm going to bring it up again. I'm sorry, but this is just yet another way that we allow ourselves, and I'm pointing at all of us, we allow ourselves to be divided over stupid SHIT rather than focusing on the real problems in this country. It's the way we are. And I think that that's something that the people in power cultivate and play up and stir the pot and throw gas on the fire, whatever cliche you like. That's what's going on, because they know if they keep us, and by us, I mean we the people in the literal sense of we the people, if they keep us angry at each other and pointing fingers at each other, black, white, male, female, straight, gay, whatever, then they can continue to get away with the same SOS, same old stuff that they have gotten away with for years in Washington, and nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to care. So
at least I think I'm
once again a political rant. Sorry.
I'm just going to end the political rant by saying you keep giving, this is just my opinion again. People out there in the world keep making the two political parties in charge. Nothing's going to change. It's just like a ping pong game. Ping pong, right. Ping pong, ping pong.
Right.
And when it changes, nothing really changes.
No, it doesn't. Half the population is convinced that the group that's in power now are all thieves and the devil. And if only their person were in charge, it would be better. And then in a couple of years, we find out that we were all wrong again. It doesn't change.
That's why I continue to be an independent people. And I'm one of the very few that are. It's just, I don't believe in the two-party system anymore. I'm sorry.
I can't see how anybody would. I can't figure out for the life of me how you can think those guys are evil, but our guys are better. And I don't mean guys in terms of men. I'm men, women, people. Whatever.
Yeah, people.
Those people are evil and our people are better. And if only our people were in charge, then things would be better. No, they wouldn't. No, because none of those people are really the actual people in control. So how far down the X-Files rabbit hole can we go with this one?
Let me just divide us even more. Shoes or no shoes in the house?
Shoes or no shoes in the house? In this house, it's no shoes. It's absolutely no shoes in this house.
Now, do we wear socks?
No.
We run around
barefoot. The only time, in fact, the only time I wear socks is if I'm going out to play pickleball or go shopping or something. Because normally, no socks. No.
See, my wife, barefooted in the house. I used to wear socks all the time in the house.
Yeah.
But I will say this, and then I would be barefoot every once in a while too, but not very often. Because I got just ugliest feet. You wouldn't want to see them. Just you wouldn't want to see them without being covered with something.
Gross. Thanks for sharing that.
I
So
just want
glad
to be
we're
honest
not
with
on
people.
live TV.
I don't have hot looking feet. You know, I just don't. They're long, they're
Begging the
skinny,
question,
they're
begging
bony,
the
they're like,
question. Yeah,
it's like, oh my
begging the
God,
question,
put
do you
something
have
on
any other
those
parts
feet.
that are hot?
Yeah, put it this way. Anymore, I pretty well keep everything
Not so
covered.
much.
I don't want anybody to see anything I got.
I get it. I do. Yes.
Now, see, now I know
In
I've
this
mentioned this
house,
before. I have type 2 diabetes, and
right?
I go get my feet looked at like a couple times a year. I go get my toes trimmed because I have those fat, ugly toenails that old people get. So I go to the podiatrist, and my
Right.
podiatrist has told me, because, you know, if you have like type 2 diabetes or diabetes, you could get ulcers in your feet. And then that's
In your,
kind of like blistering yeah. And then the
in your feet?
ulcers, yeah. And then the ulcers that's why sometimes you've heard that diabetic people need to get like toes and feet and legs amputated. It's because of these ulcers.
I have a good friend. I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to interject, I have a good friend, bad diabetes for many years, lost several toes. Yes, I understand it completely.
So my doctor, not my doctor, but he's a doctor. My podiatrist has told me that with someone with type 2 diabetes, I need to, you know, make sure I don't get these ulcers or blisters or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I am best off to wear shoes in the house at all times.
I have heard that it's best to wear something, shoes or slippers or some kind of slip-on, simply because walking around on a hard floor, and I mean, I have mostly hard floors in my place. I do have carpet in the bedroom, but I don't walk around in there. That it's hard on your feet, on you know, on your arches and all of that stuff. And I do have a pair of slippers, and they do have arch support in them. I put in some of those little, what do you call them? The little inserts.
Yeah.
But I don't think to wear them all the time. But if I'm going to be up in the kitchen making a meal or something like that, and I'm going to be standing on that, you know, tile kitchen floor for a long time, yeah, okay, okay, I better put my slippers on. But normally walking around the house, no, almost never.
My wife, she, you know what? She's not even a little hillbilly like me. My wife never has shoes on in the house.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
But you know what? Because I was that guy, you know, I was that hippie. I was that guy in a band in the radio business.
Right.
And I never wore shoes anyway. I always wore tennis shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my arches were killed by the time I was 30.
I understand.
40.
Yeah.
So it probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference for me now. But now just because the podiatrist, see, I might be one of those dumb guys. I listen to whatever my doctor tells me to.
That's not a bad thing, especially for somebody like you. I mean, you know, you're barely hanging on by a thread here. Come on. No, you're not. You're fine.
That's why I got to get that car. Get all I can.
Call back. But no, so it's okay to listen to your doctor, especially on something like that. I mean, they kind of know what they're talking about, you know?
Another thing he said they weren't an absolute need, but I didn't even know they made these. I don't know what they are even.
Which is?
He said it might be wise to look into a pair of diabetic shoes. I guess they make diabetic shoes.
I've heard of that, but I don't know what the difference is. I'm sure it has a lot to do with things like arch support.
Yeah, it's got the inserts and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because I mean, they make those diabetic socks, and I've never figured that out until, I mean, I kind of did.
Well, the diabetic socks are the ones that, they're more.
They squeeze you. They squeeze your legs and stuff to keep the blood flow. Because again, if you're old and overweight and sedentary, not going to mention any names, Bill Stevens, but if you're like that, the blood's not circulating as well as it should be. So it tends to like puddle up down in the lower, in your feet and your ankles and stuff like that. So yeah, I know the diabetic socks help kind of squeeze things and keep it moving. I think. I'm not there yet. Not there yet. Knock on wood. So.
But preventative maintenance
helps.
Absolutely.
That
does.
way you don't get there.
Absolutely does. Yeah.
I
What
just
he's
wasn't
pointing
born
at himself.
tomorrow.
What's that?
I just wasn't born tomorrow.
You weren't born. I was born at night. It just wasn't last night. Right?
Oh, by the way,
so go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was going to say, so the big shoes around the house thing. Yeah, no, there's, if I look around, I think there's no shoes in sight, no socks, no shoes in sight, no nothing. It's quiet around here.
It's not going to be quiet around here very much longer because I will, as we talk about shoes.
Right.
I told you my wife is always barefooted in the house.
Right.
She might be always barefooted in the house, but you look around, you'll find at least 20, 30, 40 pairs of shoes for somebody who goes around the house barefooted all the time. I can't believe I said that out loud.
Yeah, you're going to get in trouble for that. You certainly are.
Be in so much trouble.
Yes. Another friend of mine, another lady friend of mine who,
I'll go nameless.
Yeah, we'll remain nameless. Just posted on Facebook like a dozen pictures of, I had my sister come over last weekend and we organized my closet. And she had literally like 50 of these shoe boxes, the clear plastic. I mean, she must have spent $1 million on Amazon for these clear plastic shoe boxes that stack in the shelves and all. But I will admit, okay, thumbs up, good organizing job. Really nice. Cause now the floor is not, if you walk into your closet, BJ Odom, if you walk into your, first of all, here's question number one. Do you have a shared closet? Do you and your wife share a closet?
Well, we don't have, like our last two houses had big walk-in closets. This one, we have a closet on the right and we have a closet. Let's say, okay, you're going from the bedroom
Yes.
into the bathroom.
Yes.
As you go into the bathroom, there's a closet on the right. There's a closet on the left.
His and hers?
Yes.
Good.
But let me explain. Now, I'm not done explaining. Now.
I didn't think you were.
Now, I will say this, although it cost us money, she had a company come in and add different shelves and different layers and all that other stuff.
Love that.
And I will admit, it looks like when you go into some fancy store and all the shirts are like, it's like, whoa. So it's very organized. Now we'll get to my side. I have a side. Got a little bit of the side. It's mine. But then some of it is like, because it does go into the bathroom and we really don't have a closet in the bathroom. So some of it has towels and sheets and medical supplies and all sorts of different things.
Right.
And then there's a little sliver that's got my clothes hanging up there. And
a little tiny bit.
Yeah. So yeah.
Any overflow from hers into your side of things or no? Or is it all, like you said, like house stuff?
I would say not really any overflow from hers, but stuff that I normally wouldn't have in mine.
Right. Definitely not your stuff.
Yeah.
Like you said,
it'd
towels
be our
and
stuff.
Yeah.
And we probably, like the towels, we both use the towels.
Sure.
Both use the sheets, obviously.
Sure.
So, I just heard the door slam. I hope she's not mad and she left for about the last year.
She's going to buy that car.
I don't think she would.
No.
But because I think well, if you're going to get it, you got to get the Disney. Or no car at all.
Or no car. No.
Although she really likes the RAV4 hybrid plug-in.
I get it.
Can't seem to find one of those.
Okay.
But she has she has an appointment in Tampa, so we're going to go shop around Tampa a little bit Friday. But back to where we were. So that's the way our closets kind of work.
I have one closet and it has everything that I own, all my clothes, sheets, towels, everything, and there's still some empty shelf space.
Let's just say this. I mean, there's things that I really don't need. Okay.
Sure.
I could get a small truck.
Right. We've talked about this and it's true. Yeah.
And I could load everything that I wanted or needed or was, Like you will never see any of this stuff you leave again. It's going to get thrown out or going to get, sold or I could take the back of a pickup truck, fill it up, and I'd probably have room left over. You could bring a semi truck in. And I still don't think you'd get all of our stuff in it.
No, I get that. I do. I mean, I hate to say, let's not be sexist about this, but is that a guy thing? Well, that's not necessarily true, because I have known a couple of male friends that have a boatload of stuff, and I mean a big boat of stuff. So I'm not going to be sexist about it, but I am going to say it's predominantly it seems like it's men that could travel light, minimal kind of stuff. Because I'm the same way. I could, whatever. I could pack everything in the back of my car right now and that'd be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same here.
It's okay. As long as I got my computer and my pickleball paddle and my sneakers, I'm good to go.
I still got to have a bed.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
A bed and a computer.
There's that. Yeah.
And some clothes. That's it.
That's enough. That's enough right there.
Well, let's just say this. When I got divorced all those years ago.
Yes.
And lived in Indiana. Got custody of my son, Gentry, and we decided we were moving to Florida.
Right.
I had a Pontiac Trans Am. The biggest thing in there was probably my son's toy box. And it went in the front seat. And he pretty much kind of like laid on no, maybe it was in the back seat. I know there was clothing and, bedding or something. And he kind of laid on that on the way down.
Right.
But yeah, Trans Am. I moved to Florida.
Not known for a lot of storage space. Old Trans Am. Yeah.
Yeah. So that moved me to Florida.
Got it. Yeah.
It shows what I took.
Right. Not a lot. And again, that's just the way people live. I'm okay with that. That's me. So good. Awesome. Show number 100. For those of you who missed it early on, this is show number 100 for BJ and Bill, the podcast. Tell me, BJ Odom, did you ever think it would come to 100 shows?
I don't know. I think I did. Because really, when you think about BJ and Bill, the radio show.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was 5 days a week.
We did 100 shows in 5 months.
Yeah.
If you're 20 days a week, Monday through Friday. Yeah, we did 100 shows in.
We did probably at least a dozen years together. Maybe not all the same radio station. Because we jumped around a few radio stations after we were booted out of our original home. Which was my fault.
But never.
Yeah, I went and had a heart transplant.
You had a heart transplant. Fault. Your fault.
I'm 100%
pointing the finger at you.
Yes, my fault.
Biggest PR blunder in corporate history, but yeah, I get it. Okay.
But and then these podcasts came along and let's give it one more whirl. So this is our swan song.
I hear that term often, and I really have no idea why it means what it means, but I'm not going to look it up right now. So I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah, you're more worried about looking up the new Disney edition.
I am totally looking up the Disney edition. All right, so I'm going to try it again. Disney edition Ioniq 5. And like I said, I was having some computer issues before. And now I click on it and I'm still having some computer issues. So I don't know what the heck's going on, but I've punched it into Google, and I'm sure that when you and I are done with this podcast, it will probably come up and I will go, oh yeah, he wants one. Oh yeah.
Reword that, please.
Sorry. Yeah. The wife. Yeah. I get it. All right. So wait a minute. Here we are. Ioniq Disney, the Disney 100 Platinum Edition. Okay. So now I'm looking at it. Oh, and it has like cool colored lights in the front too, doesn't it?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Well, you wouldn't notice it when you're driving it, but apparently the front of it kind of looks a little purpley or something like that, which is cool. And then on the inside, it shows, oh yeah, on the interior, it has some fancy colors and all that. Oh, and of course, on the outside, it has the little plaque that says Disney 100 Platinum Edition. Wow.
Well, that's what it is. And the car is platinum. So
Right.
it only needs to be wiped down with a cloth.
Right. It's probably got some fancy ceramic color to it. Oh, and look at that in the headrests and in the leather on the little center console. It has Disney 100 stitched into it as well. Look at that. Boy, that's I have no desire to drive or own this car. However, it is cool. I will give you that. It is super cool. So
$2,000 more than it would be.
Of course. Of course.
$2,000.
And they'll sell them all. The fact that it says 100, are there only 100 of them?
I don't know.
That's an interesting. It's because all the pictures I'm seeing say Disney 100 Platinum Edition.
I think there was like 1,000 or 10,000, something like that. I don't know.
Kind of like this podcast. This is 100. Yeah. So we should have charged more for this podcast. We should have charged another 1,000 or 2,000 for this podcast.
I will put a few more commercials in there, maybe.
Okay, fine.
If the people in charge can sell a few more,
right?
We'll put a few more breaks in there.
Right. We'll put a few more breaks in. That sounds good. That sounds really good. So yeah.
Oh, when's your new podcast? Before we get out of here,
right?
When's your new podcast begin?
This week. Thank you for asking. As we record this, it is Monday, July 29th. I have been talking to our hero at Podcast Playground, Mr. J, and we have been running the trailer for The Practical Path, a podcast on personal and spiritual growth with yours truly and our old friend, Vicki Wagner. So we've been running the trailer for it all week. And now it's time to start dropping the podcast. So 2 or 3 or 4 of them will drop, I'm sure, this week. So we'll see how it goes.
Cool.
I got to reach back out to our buddy Jay at Podcast HQ. So Podcast Playground.
And this week, Gift of Life, the organ transplant podcast.
Tell us
all
more.
Month of August, we shall celebrate National Multi-Ethnic Donor Awareness Month, also known as National Minority Donor Awareness Month. We have some great guests that'll come by and help us celebrate with their stories from not only the Spanish, but also the Black community. So looking forward to that. So that'll be
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yes.
That is very cool. That's very cool. And you've been doing a great job with that. You've been crushing it with that, as they say. So keep up the good work. And I look forward to the next edition of that, and also the Practical Path that's going to drop, like I said, this week as well. So it's all good. Look at you, boy. Wow. So next week, BJ Adam, what's the over under on you having a new car next week?
I'm going to give it I'm going to be realistic.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 35. I'm going to give it a 40% chance of having
40% chance that you do have another car by next week.
Maybe even 35%.
Well, that's a little less, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. Still, honestly, that's a bigger number than I would have suspected.
Let's just say this, maybe within the next week, we'll be pretty determined either going this direction, that direction, or no direction at all.
That's meaningless, but thanks for sharing.
No,
you have a career in politics ahead of you. You can say a lot, and say nothing.
Well, let me tell you, my fellow Americans, there is a chance that I could be driving a car with electricity, or there's a chance that, I don't know. I think what you would call me in the world of politics, I'm a flip-flopper.
They don't even call it that anymore. That's the thing. It's like Monday you say one thing, Tuesday you say the exact opposite, and somehow it all makes sense. That's the weird thing. We don't even call people out on it anymore. We don't even call people out on the fact that, hey, what you just said makes no sense at all. None. Zero. It doesn't matter anymore.
But Bill,
yes,
I'm sorry, but it wasn't supposed to make sense. That's the reason. That's the reason why I said it.
It's all clear to me now. Clear as mud. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where we're going with this, but next week starts the second 100 episodes.
Ooh,
We
think
start
can
on
make
our
it to 200?
200. Wow. 200 is another 2 years.
Oh yeah, let's make it. Let's make it.
200.
But I might be sounding a little bit weirder
Yeah.
by then. and
Well, by
nothing-
then, in 2 years, we'll have the AI voices doing our voices, and we'll still sound sexy and smooth and all of that. And you'll never know that it's not actually BJ and Bill who are out on the back porch in a wheelchair somewhere.
Oh, you mean there was a time where we actually sounded sexy? When in the hell was that?
Yeah, never mind. Yeah. All right, I take that back. I don't think there was that time.
You
no,
remember
but
when that
we can
BJ
dream,
and Bill-
damn it. We can dream.
Remember when that BJ and Bill used to sound sexy, Martha?
No, I don't. But thanks for asking. All right, everybody. Go out there, have a great week. Drive an electric car, see how much you love it. Whatever. It's okay. Get back to us on that. Everybody, be safe. Have fun. We'll talk to you in a week. Up till then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
I might change my word for the second 100.
oh my God, wait, what?
Yeah, I might change the word instead of saying see ya. And especially
Yeah,
if I
okay.
go electric, I'm going to go punch it.
Punch it. That which is a Star Trek line, because every captain on Star Trek has to have his thing to say, engage or make it so or whatever. So BJ's going to change his line. All right, you want to do it? You want me to set you up again? Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great week.
Maybe I should
What?
wait though till 101.
Oh, you're confusing the hell out of me here.
That's because
What are we going to do with you?
That's because I'm a politician at heart.
Friends, have a great week. BJ Odom, say something.
See ya. Punch it.